Are you ready?
Ready.
I know you're ready.
I took allergy medicine today. This is why I didn't want to go on, because I feel like a little dull.
Allergy medicine mixed with alcohol.
Yeah, it's a great combo.
You know all of this is in the up on the show because
Okay,
he always puts in the bloopers like it's in.
I go anywhere with you, 'cause you fill my mind, or you fill my mind. We could build a dream, start up something new, let the old be dead, let the shadows leave my head. When the world is on your shoulders and you feel like falling over, just come a little closer. I'll be there for you, I'll be there for you. 'Cause when we are together, I know you feel the tension. Just let me in your head so I can be there for you, there for you. The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young, won't you sing for me? Won't you sing for me till we fall asleep? The night is young.
Hey Newberg, how are you today? I'm very excited because this is actually the first time that I'm doing like a proper spotlight of a winery. I'm with Brian and Laura with Hazelfern Cellars, and today we're going to talk to them, find out a little bit about the backstory of their winery and why you need to come take a visit. How are you two today?
Good, how are you?
Excellent. It's
Excellent.
good to see you both. Why don't you guys start off telling Newberg a little bit about who you are, where you came from.
We started making wine in 2006 in our basement in Northeast Portland. All of Northeast Portland back in the 1800s was a big cattle farm called Hazelfern Farm. Laura and I had fallen in love with wine, just hanging out with friends and family. In 14, had a quarter-life crisis. I had a quarter-life crisis, yeah. I had a cousin who was living in Hawaii. She was 27 years old and was killed, actually. She was working for a farmer's market, and a truck ran over the curb and went through the tent, and she was so positive, like such an amazing person. That happened in spring of 2014. And for us, you know, this has always been making wine is something that we fell in love with and was a lifelong dream of ours. And so,
Pipe dream.
yeah, a pipe dream. That's right.
Retirement dream.
Yeah. When that happened, it just kind of really woke us up, made us realize life is short, and you know, if that's our dream, let's go for it. And so literally a couple months later, packed up everything and moved out here to Newberg. Like Laura said, we have a bunch of family lives here in the area. We packed up our kids. We have 2 daughters. Packed up a ping pong table and traded out our city life for our country life. And came out here and planted our vineyard and started the winery. We opened the doors 2 years ago.
Okay, so when you moved out here 4 years ago, there was probably a bit of a process of getting it up and going.
You want to talk about where we're sitting right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the barn that we took over in 2014, the barn was built for 4 horses that never lived here, unfortunately.
It's a nice barn for 4 horses.
Yes, it is. So the folks that built the barn built it for the 4 horses, but they were relocated to the East Coast just as they finished the barn. We just fell in love with the feel of the space of the barn. So we had a little bit to do within the confines of the barn itself, like bathrooms and space to make wine. But other than that, it was in essence this beautiful inside.
Yeah, and it's still, I mean, it's still, we wanted to keep it true to a horse barn, so that's why you still see the stalls that are here.
Yeah.
One cool thing too is the windows that are in here are actually reclaimed. These are the old Linfield Library windows. So when they tore down that library, those windows ended up coming here to this barn. So it's a lot of fun to host local people here for tastings, especially folks that maybe went to Linfield and they're able, like, it's weird because they'll walk in and say like, oh, that's the window that was in the restroom that I used to, you know, sit in. So
That's wild.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome example, Brian.
No, that's true though. People do that.
How many acres is this?
Total property is 5 acres. We have
5
about 3 acres of vineyard planted, and then the rest of it is, of course, the barn. And then we also live here on the property. So it's an old farmhouse, been here since 1915, which takes it way back. And yeah, so we live here with our 2 girls, and so that takes up our 5 acres. We're maxed out at this point.
Yeah. So do all the grapes come from here, or do you guys purchase from other areas as well?
We source grapes from, I think we're 11 different vineyards at this point. So all throughout the Willamette Valley, different sort of sub-regions of Willamette Valley, and then a little bit of fruit comes from Walla Walla, Washington.
We planted this vineyard when we moved here. So the grapes, this will be the first year that they produce fruit. And so we'll have our first chance to see our own fruit from this site, which we're super excited about. You'll see on our Instagram, we're always cooking, always pairing that with wine. And so for me, as a winemaker, to have all these different microclimates that are here in Oregon, it's like having sugar and salt and spice and crunch and all those things you might think of in a dish.
Yeah.
The Willamette Valley has all of those different flavors, like in all the different microclimates. So even after our vineyard is online here at the end of this year, we'll continue to work with our vineyard partners.
Yeah.
We have contracts, we farm all of the blocks at the sites, and we'll continue to bring all that fruit here and make the wine, because it just adds so much to the wine and the blends and the story.
Do you guys specialize in any like certain type of wine?
We specialize in Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, of course, being here in the Willamette Valley. And we also have some unique varieties planted here in the vineyard. So our estate vineyard, of course, we have a little bit of Pinot Noir, but we also have Gamay Noir, which we're really excited about. That's a really up-and-coming grape here in the valley that's really hot right now. And then we also have a little bit of Trousseau Noir, which is from the Jura region of France, Jura. It's a very small region that is about a 45-minute drive east of the Burgundy region. So super excited about those varieties when they come online. For now, it's really Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and then every year we do a big red from Walla Walla. So we work with Lake Colleen Vineyard, and we're typically doing Syrah from there.
How can the community experience your wine? You guys have open tasting hours or tasting room hours. Do you guys do routine events out here?
We are 100% by reservation. We have sort of a pretty easy portal for booking reservations here.
At hazelfern.com.
Yep. We do a couple events each year that are open houses. Memorial Day weekend, Thanksgiving, that you don't need a reservation for. You can just come on by and check us out.
Thursday through Sunday, we're open by appointment. Like Laura said, you can look us up through Instagram or on hazelfern.com. You can reserve online there. One of our favorite events is Derby de Mayo. So
My favorite.
Yeah, yeah. We take the Kentucky Derby, we mash it with Cinco de Mayo into one big party. This year, we had a chef, Dustin Joseph from McMinnville. He did a whole bunch of Kentucky-inspired bites, so think like fried chicken sliders. And then out on the patio, we had a whole like taco stand. So we really mashed those two flavors together. We had a live band. This year was bluegrass. Last year was mariachi here in the barn.
That's awesome.
And we encourage everyone to get dressed up. We do a whole bunch of games in here where you can win tickets to bet on the different horses. And then we broadcast the Kentucky Derby live and then give away a bunch of prizes.
Brian also spends a lot of time on his outfit for the event.
We do. Yeah, people get really dressed
Yeah,
up. So
he's like
that's the one time a
Derby.
year that I wear a suit.
Head down.
Yeah.
And then always wears like a sombrero.
A sombrero, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And then we have a lot of people that wear ponchos, and I mean, people really get very
They get
dressed up
into
for
it,
it.
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
What do you feel like the ratio was Derby to Cinco de Mayo? as
Probably
far as costumes go?
80% Derby, 20% Cinco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime like an excuse to wear like a big hat or
Right.
a fascinator and a fancy dress, come on.
Our other big event is we do a harvest dinner. Last year, it was amazing. We had a chef come out from New York City, actually. She was a Food Network Chop champion, Adriana Urbina. She's the executive chef at De Maria, which is a really hot restaurant in Manhattan right now. She cooked in a kitchen for 3 days, a big wine pairing dinner that we did here in the space. Food and wine is really important to us, so that's a special event. Probably my favorite. So Derby de Mayo, your favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite is the harvest dinner for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do you guys want to tell?
Or what else should we tell Newburgh?
Let's see, what should we tell them? We love Newburgh.
Yeah,
We love it here.
We do. We love the community.
Love everything about it. The community here is literally unreal. And I think that coming from Northeast Portland, people, for the most part, Northeast Portland has a great brand of having a great sense of community. Newburgh far surpasses it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even kidding. It's like unreal.
Yeah, sorry, Northeast Portland.
Yeah, sorry, Northeast Portland.
And I think in the wine industry too, we've been just super blessed with the wine community that's here. It's a
Yeah.
very tight-knit group, and people aren't. People always ask us like, "Well, don't you compete against all these other wineries?" And that's not the case here in Oregon. It's everyone. All the winemakers here in Oregon are working to promote the quality of Oregon. It's a really special place. We feel so fortunate to be making wine in one of the most exciting wine regions in the world right now.
So let's dive into that for a second. Talk to me about your thoughts on the Willamette Valley as it stands, like you were saying, one of the most exciting wine regions in the world. I don't personally know a ton about wine, so it's like I've heard that, I believe it. It seems like we're getting a lot more tourism and whatnot because of our wine region.
Yeah.
But how does it stack up against like Napa and France and all these other?
It comes down to a couple things. So first of all, it's the weather that we have here, but it's also the geology that we have here. So you have all these very diverse microclimates, a lot of different soil profiles going on, and we happen to have the perfect climate to grow world-class Pinot Noir and Chardonnay and Gamay Noir, it's something that we're excited about. From a Pinot Noir and Chardonnay standpoint, people always talk about Burgundy being like the leader in those varieties. But we're super excited about what's happening here in Oregon. We're not trying to make Burgundy wine, we're trying to make Oregon wine.
Right.
And we think that Oregon wine is very, very special. And we were super excited this week. Forbes actually came out with a big article talking about, maybe it's time to start recognizing that Oregon has stepped out of the shadow of Burgundy, and people should appreciate Oregon for Oregon.
Yeah.
It's not trying to copy Burgundy. We're a cooler climate, so we get more complexity.
In the hip sense of the word, right?
Yeah, in the hip sense of the word. Yeah. Compared to our friends in California, I think that because we're a cooler climate, it's more suited for Pinot Noir and Chardonnay here. Those are two varieties that we're really, really excited about. And so, I just think that we sit in a really special place because of the weather, because of our geology and the soils, and because of this community. It is a collaborative community. And you know what? The other thing, too, is this is a very sustainable community. So a ton of places that are farming organically, biodynamically. That's something that's very important to us. Every vineyard that we work with is either organic or biodynamic. We're organic here on our site. And
awesome.
Just thinking about that next generation, we're very against spraying herbicides and Roundup and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that those things live in the soil for a long time. We don't want to do that, and so we do a lot of organic farming here. With our friends across the Willamette Valley. People drive by and they see I'm wearing like a full hazmat suit when I spray, and so people assume that that's like pesticides that are bad for the environment. But like just this week, we actually sprayed cinnamon oil and seaweed on the vineyard. So the cinnamon oil helps to keep the mildew down, but literally it's just like concentrated cinnamon.
Right.
And the seaweed gives back to the plants, so it puts nutrients back into plants. And I wear a hazmat suit when I'm spraying because it's cinnamon oil. It's so intense when it's concentrated that I don't want to sit in that cloud. But I think it's important for people to know that literally that stuff is. It's organic, it's cinnamon, just like in your kitchen.
Yeah.
I was
right,
like,
awesome.
oh my gosh, it smells like someone's been baking. I don't know. It's delicious.
You'll see different people spraying in their vineyards, but know that most people are organic, biodynamic, taking care of the community. We all live here. We're taking care of the land. It's very important to us. And that's something that makes Oregon and Newburgh very special.
The other times I've been wine tasting at different wineries, everyone seems to be, as you're saying, kind of like collaborative effort of how can we make the region better together
Yeah.
versus like competing against each other.
Oregon wines have less than 1% market share, so very, very small in the market. It's obviously a big deal here because we all live here, but with less than 1% market share, Oregon wines score more than 20% of the scores on Wine Spectator getting 90 points or above.
Wow.
So the quality that's coming out of Oregon far surpasses our market share, and that's why people are really excited about what's happening here. Is there's such a focus on quality. People are producing great Pinot Noir and world-class Chardonnay, and it's being recognized around the world. And we're also collaborative because we know that we have so much work to do to get the word out. This is something for people to be proud of is the quality that's coming from Oregon because of our environment, because of the community here, how people support each other. Like all of that is making outstanding wines that are being recognized on the world stage.
Yeah.
It's just that we have a lot of work to do to get that out there, to the masses. So
Right.
it's a very special place.
Any final thoughts, last words?
We would love to see you. So
Yes, yes.
we're here by appointments. Again, easy to make an appointment. It's just because we live here with our girls. It just allows us to schedule.
Yeah.
But we got into this because we love wine is something that belongs on the dinner table. It's something to be shared with friends. It's not something to be fussed over. It's something that connects people around the world. And so we do this because we want to meet new people.
We
would love
you
to
be our
meet you.
friends.
Yes, yeah.
So come and drink wine with us.
Yeah, please come and let's share a glass of wine. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hey, so as you can tell, the rosé was delicious. So because of that, I'm going to give away a bottle of rosé, and with that, we're also doing a hat and a t-shirt from Hazelfern. So what I want you guys to do in order to enter to win, just comment the word Hazelfern below and you'll be messaged with instructions on multiple ways that you can earn entries into the drawing. So best of luck to you, and we'll see you guys in the next video.